have, quote, civil rights, meaning they grant you certain privileges because they know darn well there'd be a revolution if they didn't. Okay? But little by little they squeeze down. They change the educational system. How can you claim your rights if you don't know to claim them, if you don't know what they are or how to go about it? So they teach everybody. Do they ever teach you what a people is in school? No, but they sure taught you what a citizen was, didn't they? And when you go into court and you say, I'm a citizen of the United States, right away, they know they got you because you're in the jurisdiction. You've admitted it just by that phrase alone. Okay? There's other things here. On the left of this chart, you have amendments available to the U.S. citizens. Believe me, they're available because they're legislated, not because of the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights has absolutely nothing to do with the citizens. Okay? They say it's available. Now, where did I get this from? I got it out of a book. The title of it is The Constitution of the United States of America, Analysis and Interpretation. Okay? It's about a 2,700-page book when you have all the amendments and stuff in it. Okay? And that book is included in this CD. We have reference law books that are included in the CD. Let me show you some of them. Here it is. The Constitution of the United States of America, Analysis and Interpretation. That has it. It tells the truth. That book is printed by the Congress, by the House, and then a free copy is given to every congressman, every representative. It's given to every senator, and a free copy is given to the Vice President of the United States. The President of the United States has to buy his copy, or maybe the executive branch will buy it. But only the Congress and the Vice President. Why is it that the Vice President gets a free copy but the President doesn't? He's the President of the Senate. Exactly. He's part of the Congress. There's some cross-linking there in order to make sure that although there's a separation of powers, they didn't want them too separated. Okay? It's really an interesting compromise they did when they constructed this Constitution. Okay. So that book is given out. It has the truth in it. An interesting thing is, I took the 1938 issue of this. It's published on average, and this is just an average, once every 10 years. It might go 20 years without publishing, okay? But there's been a series of them. I looked at the 1938 edition, and I compared it to the next edition, whenever it was, some 10 years later or so. And they were pretty much the same, except for one thing. All the common law references in the index only were stripped out. There was like a full page of references to common law that you could look up. You won't find them. Now, in the body of the book, it's all there. But they took it out of the index. What are they doing? Information control, right? Okay. The attorneys look it up. It's not there. What do they know? Okay, we have Title 4. We got Title 18 United States Code, Title 28 United States Code. Got the Act of the Confederation, so if you want to know what the original United States was, there it is. Northwest Ordinance. You got the 1849 and the 1879 Constitutions. Let's just check the preamble for a moment. Oops, something happened. Uh-oh. I might have given you a defective copy. Too bad. However, if you go into the CD, you'll find it in there somewhere. Maybe the 1849 Constitution is there. No? Okay, well, it's in there, but I guess we also have the Anti-Government Movement Guidebook. This is a book specifically written by judges, for judges, because they're trying to figure out how to control us. How to get around our arguments. It's good reading. And what you're going to find, don't be surprised, what you're going to find is they don't really understand either. So there isn't a big scheme on the part of the judges against you. They just naturally are against you. Okay? They're not that well organized, and that becomes apparent when you read the Anti-Government Movement book. You can see these judges it's their book. So, let's see. Back to the law notes. Are you following me so far? I hope. All right. By the way, the website was featured on Rush Limbaugh's Site of the Week. He was up there for 7 days. It was kind of nice. Okay. Republic versus democracy. Am I in trouble? Okay. All right. All right, that's a good sell. Oh. Okay. You want to take a break for 10 minutes? Okay. Let's do that. No, we'll tell some more after that. Okay. Thank you. The question was, a judge decreed that rights and privileges are the same. Do you know how that affects us? Well, if you let him be in charge, it affects you any way he wishes it to. On the other hand, if you're in charge, you say that's frivolous. That's what they do, right, when they're in charge. It's frivolous. You know? Hey, well, in fact, that brings out another point. Capitalization of the name. Okay? Anybody heard that one? Okay. Now, I'm not saying that that's an invalid concept. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen the Texas law that says that if you don't, something to the effect that if you don't say you're not a corporation, the presumption is that you are. Or words to that effect. I don't have it down accurately. But see, when it's my court, it's my discretion too, isn't it? I'll lay down the rules. Hey, if you don't want the word customer used in your court, that's fine. Okay, let's, so anyway, caps versus lowercase, that's my position is that if I'm doing the judging, then it doesn't make a hill of beans difference to me, not in my kingdom or my court. All right, let's go on to let's see, republic versus democracy. I'm not going to spend much time on this, but I do want to get some basic things explained about it. Okay? Basically, let me explain a republic by first explaining a democracy. Okay? In a democracy, we've all been taught 51 beats 49, right? So, that means that the majority wins and the minority loses. Okay, well that's perfectly clear to me. That means the minority has no rights. They can't exist in a democracy. So all these clowns running around here demanding democracy, they should be careful what they wish for. Because democracy means the majority wins, and whatever privileges the majority grants to the minority, it's purely at the will and pleasure of the majority. Okay, that's a pure democracy. In a democracy, if we look here in the dictionary, I got this out of, I think it's Black's Law Dictionary. It says, here we go, democracy. It's that form of government in which the sovereign power resides in and is exercised by the whole body of free citizens, directly or indirectly through a system of representation, as distinguished from others. Okay, got that? The whole body. In other words, you have this big argument, big difference of opinion, you vote on it. Whatever the group says in the voting process, that's the law. And everybody now is subject to the law, even the ones that voted for it. Okay? So, the sovereignty only exists in the entire body of the citizens, but not in the individual citizens. So, 51 beats 49, the sovereignty is in the body. Whatever the issues are, they vote on it, now everybody's subject to it, you have no choice. No rights for the minority at all. And the majority doesn't need rights because things are all going their way anyway. Okay? Contrast that with the Republican form of government. Republican form of government is one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people. Remember, that can be singular as well as plural. And are exercised by the people either directly or through representatives chosen by the people. Okay? Now, my position is I own the government. I'm really not against the vehicle code. What I am against is the abuse of power. And I think it's a very reasonable rule that everybody should drive on the right side instead of the left side, that everybody should stop at the stop sign. That's pretty reasonable to me. It's also reasonable to me that you don't stop at a stop sign if you can see clearly in all directions. Nobody's there for, so go on through. But as a general rule of thumb, I'll stop at a stop sign, partially because of the threat of the citizen cops, partly because I think it's reasonable anyway. But I own it, so therefore I hired these guys to work out some rules. Maybe I wasn't personally there, but the people hired them. And so they came up with a system of rules, and they said, this is how we're going to run things. And that's great. But the thing is that, notice this. It says, a republican government is one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people and exercised by the people either, and here's the key, directly or through representatives. So, I hire the representatives, they create a system of courts, okay? And these courts conduct the cases, right? Because I created this system, I'm one of the people, I've created it, and it's a good system, I like it. Sometimes. But in my sovereign capacity, as I look over this system that I own, sometimes some issues are simply too important to leave to judges. Okay? Some things are too important, like individual rights. So what I do in order to do that is I exercise my power directly instead of through my representatives. I open up my own court. Okay? That's what a republic is. In a republic, the minority is important. What does sovereignty mean? It means no higher authority. The sovereign decrees the law. Now, when I go to court, I'm not subject to others. Why does it take a jury in America, in a criminal jury, why is it that it takes 100% of the jurors to get a conviction? Well, very simple. You take a jury consisting of 12 people, theoretically, now this is all theory, but it's how we did things, okay? We basically have said that each juror represents 1/12 of society. Now there's many ways to compose a juror. In Athens, in Greece, a jury consisted of 1,000 people, the theory being that there wasn't anybody rich enough to bribe 1,000 jurors. Okay, that's why they had such large juries in, and that's how Socrates got convicted in one of those juries. But in America, we have decided, for whatever reason, that 12 is the magic number instead of 1,000. And we've said it has to be all 12. Why? Because if you have 11 people saying guilty, and you have one saying not guilty, what you're really saying is that 1/12 of society agrees with you, as in accordance with their representative. That one juror is a representative of 1/12 of society. And so, if you can convict on 11-1, what you're saying is that 1/12 of society has an opinion that is not important. That's 1/12. That's 8.5% or 8 1/3%, something like that. Okay? Yeah, it's 8 1/3%. So you're saying 8 1/3% they're not significant. If you can convict on 10-2, which is what some states I think actually do now, we're saying that 16 2/3% of society doesn't count. Well, now you have a democracy.